Think of a river, the endless flow of water. Each tiny swirl, each little eddy. It's carrying a moment that's, well, already becoming the past.
It's a constant, quiet movement.
Exactly. And it strikes me that our lives have a similar rhythm, don't they? This continuous unfolding.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It mirrors that ancient understanding that, well, nothing stays fixed. Everything is in motion.
Always changing.
Always changing. This constant transformation. That's the very nature of existence.
And when you first really take that in, that everything is fleeting,
Yeah.
there can be a sort of wistfulness, maybe.
Yes, a feeling that nothing lasts.
But then, if you kind of settle into it, allow yourself to sit with that idea,
Yeah.
there's also a sense of release, isn't there?
Precisely. By acknowledging this impermanent nature, we learn, I think, to appreciate things more fully
Yeah.
right now, in the present.
Mm-hmm.
We loosen our grip on what will inevitably change. And in that letting go, well, there's profound peace there.
It really does bring you right here to
Yeah.
this moment,
Yeah.
to truly value what is. And it makes me wonder about how we often view different stages of life. There's this common idea, isn't there, that as we age, it's seen as a period of decline.
That things start to diminish.
Possibilities narrow. Yeah.
But what if that story, the one we tell ourselves, what if it's incomplete?
Okay.
What if the later years are not about fading, but about, well, a different kind of blossoming?
A blossoming.
A time when the seeds of wisdom, gathered over a whole lifetime, finally begin to flower.
That's a really beautiful way to look at it, because when you think about it, by the time we've journeyed through many years, we've encountered so much.
Right.
We've navigated challenges, experienced joy, sorrow. Surely all of that deepens our understanding, refines our perspective.
Absolutely. Those experiences, both the smooth waters and the turbulent currents, they shape us.
Mhm.
They become the rich soil from which a deeper understanding of ourselves, of the world, can grow. They are the substance of wisdom.
I came across a story that really stayed with me about a man, Hiroshi. He dedicated his life to the demands of the corporate world, always striving, the next promotion, the bigger achievement.
The usual metrics of success.
Exactly. And he found a certain kind of success by those outward measures, but underneath it all, he felt this persistent emptiness.
It's a familiar experience, isn't it? This pursuit of external rewards often leaves that internal void.
It really does.
It speaks to our fundamental human need for something deeper, more profound than just acquisition.
Precisely. So Hiroshi retired.
Yeah.
And for the first time, he just allowed himself to be.
Gave himself space.
Yeah. He started tending his garden. And one afternoon, he was just there, observing a flower, the way the sunlight caught its petals.
Just simple noticing.
Simple noticing. And in that act, he had this profound realization that what truly mattered wasn't the accolades or the status, but the simple act of nurturing life, of connecting with something real.
That moment of quiet attention, being fully present with something ordinary, it's such a powerful gateway.
A gateway.
It's in these still moments that deeper truths often reveal themselves, don't they?
It seems so. And from that point, Hiroshi began to explore meditation.
Ah.
He said initially his mind felt like a storm, thoughts crashing, swirling.
Very common. That's often the first encounter. The mind is very active.
But with gentle persistence, he learned to just observe the storm without being swept away.
Cultivating that witness perspective.
Slowly, he found this quiet center within.
And the practice is really about cultivating the ability to witness all that activity with compassion, without judgment.
Right. And the clarity that arose from that stillness, it fundamentally shifted his sense of purpose.
How so?
Well, he moved away from the need to achieve and more towards a desire to contribute.
Ah, interesting.
He became a mentor, volunteered in his community, and he said that in those acts of giving back, he finally felt a genuine sense of being alive.
What's significant there is that redefinition of purpose, isn't it? Moving from that external striving to internal fulfillment through connection and contribution. It really shows how our understanding of what matters can evolve.
And it seems as though the later stages of life can actually maybe create the conditions for this kind of inner shift.
It seems plausible. The external demands often lessen, maybe. The distractions start to quiet down.
Right.
That relentless activity of earlier life can often obscure these deeper yearnings. Retirement, or just slowing down, can provide that precious space for reflection, for turning inward.
And meditation, then, it serves as this remarkable tool, like a bridge,
A bridge.
allowing us to journey inward and uncover a sense of purpose that was perhaps always there, just waiting beneath the surface.
Indeed, meditation isn't about escaping life, it's about entering it more fully,
More fully.
with greater awareness and a clearer understanding of what is truly meaningful.
This idea of an inner sense of purpose, it brings to mind the concept of Dharma.
Yes, Dharma.
This sort of intrinsic calling, this unique way we're meant to express ourselves and contribute, aligned with our deepest values. It feels like something we discover, not something we invent.
And the key to finding this inner compass, this Dharma, often lies in stillness.
Stillness again.
It's in the quiet spaces that we can begin to hear the subtle whispers of our own truth.
That really resonates. It makes me think of the story of Siddhartha Gautama, before he became the Buddha.
His early life.
Living a life of privilege, completely shielded from hardship.
That sheltered existence. It created a kind of veil, didn't it? Obscuring the fundamental realities of human experience.
Until his encounters with the four sights.
The old man, the sick person.
The corpse and the wandering ascetic. And those encounters just shattered his illusions.
A profound awakening.
To the nature of suffering, the inevitability of change.
And that confrontation, seeing the impermanent and often painful aspects of life, that's frequently the catalyst, isn't it, for a deeper search?
For meaning, for something beyond the superficial. And so he renounced everything. His comfortable life, his family, embarked on this quest for truth. Spent years wandering, engaging in intense ascetic practices.
There is such profound dedication in that initial seeking, a willingness to undergo significant hardship just to understand.
But ultimately, he realized that those extremes, they weren't the path.
No.
He discovered the middle way. And it was while meditating beneath the Bodhi tree, that's when he attained enlightenment.
Facing his inner obstacles,
Yeah.
represented by Mara.
Right, Mara, temptation, delusion. But he remained steadfast, committed to truth.
That moment under the Bodhi tree really symbolizes the power of unwavering focus, doesn't it? And overcoming that inner turmoil, leading to profound insight, liberation.
And his realization was about interconnectedness.
Yes, the interconnectedness of all things and the nature of suffering, understanding that everything is linked and that suffering arises from our attachments or clinging.
That core understanding, interdependence, the origins of suffering.
Yeah.
It's the very heart of Buddhist philosophy.
It is.
It's quite striking how his journey, though centuries ago, it mirrors our own search for purpose in many ways.
It does.
It requires courage, doesn't it, to look within. Patience to sit with discomfort.
Indeed. The path to self-discovery. It's not always easy. It demands a willingness to confront our own illusions, our ingrained patterns of thinking.
And meditation itself. It's not just about emptying the mind, is it? That's a misconception.
Not at all. It's an active engagement, really. A gentle exploration of our inner landscape.
Like peeling back layers.
Yes, peeling back the layers of conditioning that have built up over time.
It's a practice of mindful attention.
Of becoming aware of the ebb and flow of our thoughts, our emotions, without being carried away by them. And that awareness itself is a form of liberation.
It's fascinating how ancient wisdom and, modern science are starting to converge on this. I've read about studies showing regular meditation can actually alter the brain structure, increasing gray matter in areas linked to memory, empathy.
Decision-making, too.
Yeah.
And calming activity in the amygdala.
The brain center for stress and fear.
Right. So this provides tangible evidence, doesn't it, of the transformative impact of meditation on our actual neurological pathways. It's not just subjective, it has measurable effects.
So meditation can literally reshape our brains towards greater clarity, emotional balance.
It appears so.
And it seems to cultivate emotional intelligence, which feels so crucial, especially as we navigate complex relationships later in life.
Absolutely. Emotional intelligence allows for more skillful, more compassionate interactions. And as we age, the quality of our connections often becomes paramount to our well-being.
Exactly. Mindfulness gives you that pause.
That space.
Yeah, that space before reacting.
Yeah.
Allowing us to respond with more awareness, maybe more kindness, fostering stronger bonds.
This capacity to respond thoughtfully rather than just react impulsively is such a key benefit of mindful practice.
I heard another beautiful story about Aiko, a retired teacher who felt terribly lonely after her husband passed away.
A difficult transition.
Very. But she found solace and eventually a renewed sense of purpose through meditation.
How did that unfold for her?
She started volunteering, reconnected with her love for art, something she'd put aside for years, and ended up holding an art exhibition at 78.
Wonderful. Aiko's experience perfectly illustrates how meditation can open new avenues, doesn't it? For connection, creativity, purpose in the later years.
It really does.
It reminds us that growth, fulfillment, they're possible at any stage of life.
It absolutely demonstrates that it's never too late to discover new meaning. So for someone listening, perhaps feeling drawn to this, what are some practical first steps? Where could they begin?
Well, maybe start by simply noticing moments of resistance within yourself.
Resistance.
Where do you feel stuck? What thoughts or emotions do you tend to avoid? Instead of pushing them away, just try to observe them with gentle curiosity.
Like watching a cloud pass.
Exactly. Just acknowledging what's there without judgment.
Okay.
And maybe weave mindful breathing into your day. Even just a few conscious breaths can act as an anchor.
Bringing you back to the present.
Bringing you back amidst the busyness. A simple way to ground yourself.
That sounds manageable.
Precisely. And cultivating gratitude. Perhaps through a simple practice like journaling.
Gratitude journaling.
Regularly acknowledging the gifts in your life, however small they seem, that can be profoundly transformative. It shifts your perspective.
It brings you back to appreciating the richness of right now.
Yes. Because ultimately, finding purpose, it isn't necessarily about achieving some grand external goal.
It's more about...
It's about living authentically, moment by moment. Even the simplest acts, done with intention, with awareness, they contribute to your unique expression, your Dharma.
So meditation really acts as this bridge, doesn't it? Connecting these profound philosophical ideas to our actual everyday experience.
It allows us to embody the wisdom.
It's not just intellectual understanding.
No, it's about a direct felt experience of these truths through the practice itself.
It sounds like embracing meditation is, well, it's about gently releasing those outdated narratives we might hold. About aging, about our limitations.
Yes, letting go of what no longer serves us.
And stepping into a much fuller, maybe more vibrant version of ourselves.
Precisely, embracing the potential for ongoing growth, learning, and fulfillment at every stage of life's journey.
So, perhaps the question to consider for anyone listening is, are you ready to embrace this transformative power? Because it really feels as though the deepest answers, the most profound insights, they're already present within us, waiting to be discovered in the quiet spaces of our own being.